Hi, and welcome back to Momza Yoga. Today we're doing a yoga flow that's really well suited for all of the heat waves we've been having. This is a cooling flow. It's going to help you feel like you've moved your body and you've stretched, but it's actually going to help you cool off and not feel overheated. For this yoga, you're going to want a bolster or some toss cushions and a few yoga blocks.
We'll begin seated on our mat with our feet several feet out in front of us, the toes roughly in line with the corners of your mat. The hands are resting on the shins under your knees, and your tailbone may be slightly out behind you so that you can have a long spine. Let your shoulder blades travel ever so slightly down your spine. And as you exhale, hug your belly to your spine and lean back, rounding your spine, allowing your arms to straighten, and just sort of rock back and forth, hanging in a little hammock here. Inhale, the elbows bend as your chest comes forward again. Your spine is long. Exhale, hug the belly to the spine and lean back, curving your spine, letting the arms straighten, hanging back in your little hammock. Inhale, the elbows bend as you move your chest forward. Your spine is long. Exhale, hug the belly to the spine as you lean back. It's as though you're doing cat-cow from a seated position. Inhale, bend the elbows and lift your chest forward again. Bring your legs into an easy cross-legged position, putting either the right or the left leg in front, doesn't matter. You're going to inhale your left arm up, and as you inhale, your spine is going to reach up towards the ceiling first, and then you're going to tip over to the right, coming into a nice side body stretch. Notice here if your torso is leaning too much over that right thigh. You really want your chest facing forward, so we're really opening all the way from the hip bone up the side body through the armpit. And now take an inhale here and let that left arm open out to the side, letting your chest rotate towards the sky, giving yourself a nice twist and a heart opener. Exhale, hugging the belly to the spine, and now return to your side body stretch, stretching over to your right. Let's take another inhale here, letting the left arm open out to the side and the torso and chest open up to the sky. Exhale, hug the belly to the spine and return to your side body stretch. And now let's hug the tummy in one more time and take the stretch now directly over that right knee. Lowering your arms down, letting them bend, letting your spine curve, taking some tension out of the back and just releasing over that knee. Go ahead and walk your hands up, coming back up to a seated position. Go ahead and switch the cross of your legs. Whichever one was in front, put it behind now. We're going to inhale the right arm up, reaching up first with the spine, hugging the belly in, and then tipping over to the left. Coming into that side body stretch all the way from the right hip up the right side through the right armpit. You may even play around with rotating your torso over and back, forward and back, trying to find the sweet spot, the tight spot. And once you find the tightest spot, you're going to stay there and breathe into it. Inhale and reach that right arm out to the side as you let your torso and chest twist open to the sky. Exhale, hug the tummy to the spine and twist your torso back over to your side body stretch. One more time, inhale, reach that right arm around to the side. Let the chest open to the sky. Exhale, hug the tummy into the spine as you return to your side body stretch. Go ahead now and rotate so that your torso reaches over your left knee. Let the elbows relax to the ground. Let the spine curve here. Let the neck dangle. Nice release. Breathe into your back space. And go ahead and walk your hands in and return to your seated position. We're going to come to hands and knees now, making sure that your hips are centered over your knees and your shoulders are centered over your wrists. Begin to walk your hands forward, letting your torso lower all the way down to the floor, but you're going to keep your bottom centered over your knees. So you get a nice deep stretch in your back here. You can either let your chin touch the ground or your forehead if that's more comfortable, and you can always take a pillow or a towel and place it under the face as well. You'll see there's a little bit of a lumbar curve in the spine, stretching your whole back out and your chest and your underarms. Keep breathing here deeply into your heart space. And to come out of this, you'll hug your belly in and start to walk your hands back in towards your knees. Tuck your toes under you. Come back to sit on your heels, doing a nice foot stretch here. We always want to stretch our feet out before we do our standing poses, so we have a good solid foundation. Go ahead and clasp your hands and run them down your back, letting the shoulders rotate outwards, letting the chest open. Maybe even here it feels good to open and close your jaw a little bit, taking any tension out of your face as well. One last preparation before we stand up. Go ahead, return to hands and knees, walk your feet forward, and come to stand in mountain pose at the top of your mat. Your shoulder blades are moving down your spine. Your tailbone is neither tucked under like you're sitting and it's not sticking out. It's somewhere in between. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale as you bend the knees. The tailbone travels out behind you. The arms are soft and rounded and the palms are face up. This is a pose of surrender, of letting go. And if you feel like you don't want your chest compressed against your thighs today, if you're pregnant or just don't feel like having belly compression, follow along with what we're doing in the top right-hand corner. This is your alternative. You'll be placing your palms on the top of your blocks in front of you. And begin to slowly walk your hands up your thighs as you rise to stand. Inhale the arms overhead, bringing the palms together. Exhale your hands to your heart center. And we'll take this again. Inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, bend the knees, let the tailbone travel backwards. Fold forward, letting your abdomen rest on your thighs. Your arms are soft and your palms are facing the ceiling. Exhale, walk your hands up your thighs to come out of the pose. Inhale the arms overhead, touching the palms. Exhale the palms to your heart center. And one more time, inhale the arms overhead. Exhale, bend the knees, let the tailbone travel backwards. Wrap yourself over your thighs, let the neck hang. Exhale, walk your hands up your thighs as you slowly rise to stand. Inhale the arms overhead, touching the palms. Exhale the palms to your heart center. Inhale the arms down and up. Now exhale, fold forward, bringing your fingertips to your mat, stepping your left foot back, lowering the knee down, setting yourself up for a low lunge. Come up for a moment to check that your hips are square and that your right knee isn't jutting out to the side. Inhale your arms overhead, lifting the spine up off the hips first, then bending that right knee to come into a lunge. Exhale, you're going to straighten the right leg now, lowering your fingertips down to the mat. Your right leg is straight, you're resting on your heel, your back is long, and your neck is long. Your toes are sort of pointing up to the sky. We're going to inhale now as we rebend that right knee, walking our hands forward a bit, putting the ball of our foot down first, spreading out our toes, and then putting our feet down. Inhale the arms overhead and bend into that right lunge. Exhale, hug the tummy in as you straighten the right leg. Bring your fingertips to the ground, your toes point to the sky, and your spine is long. We'll take this flow again. Inhaling, we bend the right knee, putting the ball of the foot down first, then the toes. Then we inhale our arms overhead as we bend our right knee into our lunge. You might even take a slight back bend here if you feel stable. Exhale, hug the belly into the spine. Come back to hands and knees. Tuck the toes, push through your downward dog, and then slowly walk your feet in towards your hands. Let your knees bend and walk your hands up your thighs as you rise to a standing position. Inhale the arms overhead, let the palms touch. Exhale your hands to your heart center. Inhale the arms overhead. We'll take a moment just to open our side body here a little bit. Hug the tummy in and tilt straight over to the left. Inhale, come up. Exhale, we're going to now tip over to the right, just opening up that left side body. We'll do this again. Inhale, we come up to an upright position. Exhale, we go ahead and lean over the left, opening the right side body. Inhale, up to a standing position. Exhale, the tummy comes to the spine and we tip over to the right. Inhale, back to standing. Bring your arms back down to your sides. We'll take the other side now, inhaling the arms up overhead. Exhale, fold forward and take your fingertips to the mat, stepping your right foot back now, lowering the right knee down to set up for your lunge. Come up for a moment just to check that your hips are square, that your knee isn't going out to the side. Inhale the arms up. With a long spine, bend that left knee to carry you into your lunge. Exhale, hug your belly in as you straighten the left leg. Bring your fingertips to the floor, let the toes tip up, and keep your spine and your neck long. We'll roll through this again. Inhale, we lower the foot down, bend the left knee, sweep the arms overhead, reaching up first and then bending deeper into your lunge. Hug the tummy into the spine. We let the hips travel backwards as the left leg straightens, the toes tip up. Fingertips are on the ground and our spine is long here. And again, we inhale, lowering the foot down to the floor, bending the left knee, sweeping our arms up, reaching up first, and then bending further into our lunge. If you feel secure, take a back bend here. Exhale, hug the tummy in as you straighten the left leg, let the toes tip up, the spine is long. And then return yourself to hands and knees. Tuck the toes as you lift your tailbone up for downward facing dog. Walk your feet towards your hands. Bend your knees and slowly walk your hands up your legs. Inhale the arms overhead. Touch the palms and exhale your hands to your heart center. We're simply going to come to stand in a wide-legged stance on the long side of our mat. The feet are parallel to the edges. Bring your arms out right. Hug your tummy into your spine and place your hands on your hips as you hinge at the waist just to 90 degrees. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, continue folding forward. Now you're releasing. Maybe walk your hands back a little bit and just let your head hang. Let some traction happen on your spine. This is another pose of surrender. Take some deep breaths into your chest here. You may even try turning your head from side to side, letting it dangle even more. If you find that letting your head dangle is very uncomfortable, you're free to take a block or a pillow and place it under the crown of your head for a more supported pose. This may have the effect of bringing a little bit more stretch into your hamstrings, and if you're finding that uncomfortable, you could even put a little bend in the knees. To come out of this, you're going to return your hands to your hips. Inhale as you come to 90 degrees. Exhale, rise the rest of the way up. From here, you're going to turn your right foot to face the front of the mat, making sure that your right heel lines up with your left instep. Bend your right knee and stretch your arms out to the side to come into your warrior two. I promise we won't hold this for very long. Lower your left arm down to touch your thigh. Reach your right arm up and inhale, first reaching up to the sky and then tipping over that back leg. This is meant to be a side body stretch, so if you're feeling this in your low back, come out of it a little bit. You've gone too far. Exhale, return your arms to your warrior two. Straighten your right leg. And we're going to prepare for warrior two on the other side by pivoting so that both feet are parallel to the mat now. Now we're going to turn the left toes to face the back of the mat, making sure the left heel is aligned with the right instep, and bend your knee into your warrior two. Now rest your right hand on your right leg. Inhale the left arm up, breathe up, lifting up to the ceiling first, then you tip over the back leg, letting the stretch be in that left side body. Exhale, return to warrior two. Straighten your left leg and simply heel toe your feet back in together. We're going to come to stand at the front of our mat now in mountain pose. We're preparing for tree pose here, so we're going to take our right foot and snuggle it into the inside of our left thigh. Have your arms down at your sides with the palms facing out. Take a minute to move through any wiggles. And if you fall out of it, it's okay. Just come back in. Know that all those wiggles are there to help build muscle and stabilize. And this is why we stretch our feet out at the beginning of every practice, because these feet are the foundation of everything. You can probably feel all that in your feet right now. When you feel ready, inhale your arms up overhead, if you feel ready. And if this feels too unstable for you, go ahead and put your arms back down. A balanced pose like tree pose is very cooling for the mind. You have to focus a lot to stay here. And if your mind races, you're going to fall out of the pose. So it helps bring us to a single point of focus, which is relaxing for our mind. Go ahead and come out of this by bringing your hands to your heart center. Release your right leg down, and now just shake out your left supporting leg. Tap the foot, roll the ankles, take any tension out of that calf. Come back to mountain pose, and we'll set up for the second side. Picking up your left leg, snuggling the foot to the inside of your right thigh. Take a moment to get your stability in the pose. Don't worry about the wiggles or the shakes. Try to focus on a single point in front of you. Maybe it's a spot on the wall, a hole you've been meaning to patch, a picture. Help your mind focus on one single thing. Let everything else go. And when you're ready, if you're ready, lift your arms up overhead. And if this doesn't work for you, you can leave them at your side. Go ahead and bring your hands to your heart center. Release your left foot to the ground. And for our cool down, we're going to come to sit on a bolster or a bunch of toss cushions on our mat. Place the palms of the feet together. Let the knees fall out to the side. Have the bolster be sort of back towards your tailbone a little bit more. And go ahead and reach your arms around behind you, grabbing on to the back of the bolster. Allowing your shoulders to externally rotate and your chest to move forward. And lean forward to the space between your knees. You're sort of hanging here. Sort of like we did when we did the seated cat-cow in the beginning, but now we're hanging in the opposite direction. Opening the chest and the hips and the shoulders all at once. Feel free to sway side to side here and moving the stretch into different parts of your shoulders and back and hips. And if you see a spot that's particularly tight, go ahead and stay there for a minute. Breathe. And to come out of this, place your hands on your shins and support yourself as you sit up. We'll slide the bolster out from underneath, grab your block, and come to lay down on your back. Your feet are flat on the floor, your knees are bent, and make sure that your fingertips can just graze the back of your heels. And we'll reach for our block. You can place it in either the medium position as I'm showing here or the tall position. Come to your tippy toes and push your pelvis up, placing the block underneath, not too far down the tailbone and not too high up the back, so somewhere between the low back and the sacrum. Making sure that our knees don't splay apart to the side like this, but that they're parallel. Your thighs are parallel. And just breathe here. This is a nice supported back bend, opening up the pelvis, the chest. If you feel anything that's particularly tight, see if you can send a deep breath there to open up some space. You can almost start your Shavasana here, just being grateful to yourself for the work that you did in this yoga flow on a hot day. And to come out of this, you're going to push through your feet again, lifting up your pelvis, removing your block, and rolling down one vertebrae at a time. Go ahead and stretch your arms and legs out, coming into your final resting pose. The palms face forward so the shoulders are externally rotating. Let your feet flap out to the sides a little bit. And have a little gratitude for yourself for being here today.
I hope you enjoyed this yoga today. If you did, please like and subscribe. That greatly helps other people find this information. Thank you.